Storms that includes severe weather. We'll talk about the very latest, what you need to know. It's coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Boy, Saturday, unbelievably warm.
Very warm.
My son asked me, he goes, Dad, can we go to the pool today? And I was like, sorry, son. It won't be open for another few months.
They might have to open it early, though, the trend we're on right now.
It's so wild. It was so warm. And then yesterday, the cold front obviously coming in and hopefully bringing us a lot of rain, which we desperately need.
We desperately need. We were waiting for some thunderstorms to get going along that cold front, and there was a little bit of some issues getting those going. So thankfully, we didn't end up with any big hail-producing thunderstorms yesterday evening. Today is a quiet day before we really ramp things up. Again, the warmest February on record. Isn't that crazy?
It makes sense. It totally makes sense.
That
February
checks out,
28th
absolutely.
is like 80-something degrees. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So warmest February, and then March coming in like springtime. So rounds of rain. When you look at how much rain we see, it does still look like east of I-35 is where 1 to 3 inches of rain will be possible, and 3 to 5 in southeastern Oklahoma. So to walk you through day by day, a lot of these chances will actually come in during the overnight hours. So today is a dry day. We're not worried about any severe weather. Tomorrow afternoon into the evening, the overnight and into Wednesday, we'll have severe threats. We'll have a low severe threat on Thursday. And right now, Friday looks to be the day where the ingredients come together for maybe a higher end severe weather day. And we'll talk more about that coming up. Here on your Monday morning, here's a live look at the radar. Next Gen totally quiet this morning. We'll watch for a few showers and sprinkles to develop, but overall the risk or the chance is less than about a 20% chance. Here's the live look. That north breeze kicking in here on your Monday morning. 37 is our temperature right now. So the cold front has come through and much colder air has filtered in. 29 is what it feels like. 35 in El Reno, 32 in Weatherford, and 30 in Sealing. Up in the northwest towards Woodward, up to Freedom, temperatures in the upper 20s. You go down to the south, we've got low 40s and north winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, giving us wind chills in the 20s. So again, weather pattern really ramps up. Our first storm that comes in for your Tuesday and Wednesday is coming onto the coast of California. We'll talk about the very latest, the threats, what you need to know. It's coming up. Colby, back to you.
Megan, thanks. Some headlines from when you were sleeping. One person is in the hospital after a pursuit ends in Oklahoma City. Edmond police officers say they tried to stop a car just before 11 last night before that car took off. Police say the suspect tried to lose police several times, switching their lights on and off. The suspect eventually lost control of the car and crashed into a barrier near northwest, that is, 122nd and Broadway Extension. Right now, no word on the condition of that suspect. We'll be following the latest details. And one person is in the hospital this morning after a shooting on the southwest side of Oklahoma City. This was the scene around 8 Sunday night near Southwest 29th and Portland. Police believe when they arrived on scene, they found one person with gunshot wounds. We're told that person is now stable. The cause of the shooting still unknown. Police say that there is no suspect in custody. And in more, a woman is dead after being hit by an Amtrak train. Officers were called to that scene Saturday night right near I-35 and Indian Hills Road. Investigators right now trying to piece together what exactly led to that crash.
Currently, we are investigating the crash and the incident about what happened, why this person was on the tracks. We don't have a whole lot of information right now.
As they get the information and they pass it along to us, of course, we'll bring it to you. That woman's name has not been released. Police say that there were people on that train at the time. No one else was injured. Hundreds are dead after a barrage of rocket fire across the Middle East this weekend. 3 United States service members have been killed, as well as Iran's supreme leader. It comes amid concerns of a broader conflict in the Middle East, with Iran-backed militias joining in that fight. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
Rockets blasted over Israeli skies Monday morning after its defense forces exchanged fire with Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon. It comes 3 days after the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iran, killing its supreme leader. The Pentagon posted new video of strikes against Iranian targets overnight. Iran and its proxies have struck back with a barrage of missiles and drones aimed at Israel and American military interests in the region.
Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved.
Sunday, President Trump again said the strikes are necessary to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. He also vowed to avenge the deaths of at least 3 American service members killed in retaliatory strikes over the weekend.
Sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
The president told the New York Times the joint strikes may not end for 4 to 5 weeks and that he has 3 people in mind to run Iran. Iran's top security official says a committee will run the country. He also pushed back on reports that nuclear talks would resume, posting on social media, "We will not negotiate with the United States."
Iran is the mothership of terrorism, and it is about to sink.
President Trump's GOP allies in Congress have praised the strikes, while some Democrats are criticizing the administration for not consulting lawmakers first.
This is a disaster. It is illegal.
2 sources tell CBS News the Trump administration is expected to brief Congress as soon as tomorrow. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Meanwhile, back here at home, Tinker Air Force Base is temporarily suspending its Trusted Traveler program. That's immediately changing how visitors without credentials enter the base. So anyone without authorized access must get a visitor pass and a secure sponsor before entering Tinker Air Force Base. Sponsors must submit requests through the Visitor Control Center, and both parties must appear in person for pass approval. Now to the state capitol, and Edmond mother's fight for fentanyl education in schools becomes a reality. Governor Kevin Stitt signed Rain's Law last week in honor of 19-year-old Rain Reese, who died in 2023 after accidentally taking a pill laced with fentanyl. News 9's Elizabeth Fitz has the story.
Carla Carlock, Rain's mom, has found a way to turn her profound grief into life-saving action. She says she is grateful that the law passed, but hopes people will remember her daughter for the life she lived. Rain Reese was 19 and studying early childhood education at Cameron University in the spring of 2023.
I plan to teach second or first grade. I love little kids and I want to make a difference in the world.
Her mom says she was proud of her talents, but it was Rain's heart that made her the most proud.
Rain was probably the kindest, most loving, creative person I've ever known. Like, she's so special. She was really good at art and writing, and she could sing.
The oldest of 4, she also loved animals, including her dog Mars.
She always said, "I feel like God made Mars just for me." And then after Rain passed away, I was like, He made her for me too. Because I wouldn't have gotten up every day to do anything after I lost Rain. I didn't even want to get up out of bed, but there was no one to take care of her.
Carlock says the day before her daughter passed away, Rain spoke with her mom about returning to counseling and medication for mental health challenges. She Googled what a generic Xanax looks like.
She probably thought, okay, this is real, it's safe. And I think a lot of kids might think that, like, oh, I'm not going to die from one pill, or this looks like medication, so it can't be a real drug, but it is.
Under Rain's Law, students in grades 6 through 12 will receive fentanyl abuse prevention education. The legislation also directs the Oklahoma State Department of Education to develop curriculum standards and establish a statewide fentanyl poisoning awareness week.
Rain never gets to teach on Earth, but I'm hoping that she'll see from heaven all the lives that are being touched, and that these kids are going to make the decision to not try something and they get to live.
Carlock says she hopes to see the law expanded on a nationwide level and notes similar laws have already passed in some states like Texas and Oregon. In the newsroom, Elizabeth Fitz, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Such a scary situation. Thinking about Carla and that whole family this morning. Meanwhile, Hennessy Public Schools announces there will be no school or school activities today. This is due to a potential school threat anonymously reported last night. In a message to families, the district says, quote, "The safety of our students and staff is always our highest priority. We hope to resume classes on Tuesday and will communicate with our school community as soon as more information is available," end quote. They say the Hennessy Police Department right now is investigating that threat. We'll be following all the latest. Right now, we got to turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center, talk about our Monday forecast. Megan, after such a beautiful weekend, that cold front came in strong. It's a little chilly out there this morning.
As soon as it hit, it definitely got chilly. We had temperatures up in far northern Oklahoma in the 40s yesterday. Yeah, big changes headed our way, really more so in terms of rain and storms. A very wet, a very active pattern on your 9-day. As you're waking up here on your Monday morning, next gen is totally quiet. But here over the next few days, that will change as severe weather threats ramp up. We'll talk about the daily threats. Each day is different. It's a different setup, so you'll really have to stay dialed in each and every day. We'll talk about it in your 9-day coming up.
Also coming up, rising construction costs and economic uncertainty putting pressure on the housing market. Coming up, why tariffs aren't totally to blame. It's ahead. All right, welcome back. We're talking about the rain, the cold front obviously coming through, but now there's rain chances, potential severe weather chances. So there's a lot to be prepared for this week.
So March 1st starts meteorological spring, and I
Right.
think that's fitting for where we're headed. I mean, our temperatures have been warm. We're going to have humidity pumping in through the week and the dry line setting up. Friday's really the day to watch, but I'll tell you what, each and every day we do have severe risks. So you'll have to stay dialed in. Every day is different. It will include different parts of the state. But the most important part is that we're going to put a big dent in the drought. And I think that is really, really welcome news. So let's jump right in. Let me show you a video from yesterday. We had a severe thunderstorm in our viewing area that moved off into northeastern Oklahoma. That is hail. Whoa. It looks like sleet or snow on the ground. Yeah. And a lot of times this time of year, because of the temperature profile of the atmosphere, you can get hail. And a lot of times you don't get large hail, especially in some of the weaker strong thunderstorms, but you can get a lot of it. And that is safe to say that is exactly what happened in Cushing. And Wyatt is actually the great nephew of our very own Jeremy Carter, storm tracker Jeremy Carter. So thanks so much to him for sending that in. There are those storms, northeastern Oklahoma. I tell you what, they had thunderstorms all day long yesterday. We tried to see a few showers and storms get going here in the metro, but it just did not happen with kind of the conditions at place along that cold front. But you'll probably remember when the cold front hit, it got much cooler, and today will be a cooler temperature day. So across the country, your cold front's down to the south, and there are several storms out in the Pacific. Really, we have numerous storms lined up here over the next 10 to 14 days, as it is a very, very active pattern through the middle of the month. Some data even says we get a strong cold front sometime around the 11th or the 12th. Some data's had snow with it. That's still a ways out, but again, I think it's very active. So we'll start with the first storm that has come onto the coast of California to Oregon. That is tomorrow and Wednesday's storm. Storm number 2 on its tail end, and that will become Friday's storm, and it just goes from there the farther west you go. So let me walk you through future next gen. Today is a totally dry day. Tomorrow by midday into the afternoon is when our severe risk, kind of for the first time this week, starts to crank on up. So by 1 to 2 to 3 o'clock, we'll watch for thunderstorms to develop in the southwest and move off to the north and to the east, up into northeastern Oklahoma. That's round 1. Then into the evening, this will be behind the cold front. We'll watch for additional thunderstorms to go up. So kind of post-frontal thunderstorms, and these could produce some wind and hail as well from western Oklahoma and up into the north, and that does include the Oklahoma City metro. Maybe a few additional showers and thunderstorms out ahead of the front to Wednesday morning into the afternoon, but that severe risk will diminish some. So again, the cold front really the focal point for thunderstorms as we go through the next several days. Here's the live look from our Chickasha cam, part of our Lucky Stars Sky Cam network. 37 degrees is our temperature right now. You'll notice the chill out the door this morning. Feels like 29, so it definitely is cold, or much colder than where we have been. Watonga, you're 33, 38 in Chickasha, 39 in Rush Springs, and 38 in Midwest City. We've got 50s down in far southeastern Oklahoma up to the north and west. There's your freezing line, so everything to the north of that below freezing. A north wind is with us at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, maybe a gust or 2 to 20, a little lighter off to the east, and the front is down to the south and to the east. Wind chill values Woodward, you feel like 20 degrees right now with some teens up in the northwest. This afternoon, there'll be a wide range of temperatures, much cooler to the north. Some data says we're even cooler than this. Other data says we're even warmer. So we'll have to see how we shake out. 53 degrees here in Oklahoma City with 60s and 70s down to the south. It's a light wind day and it's a cloudy day. Overnight tonight, temperatures back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s as cloud cover really starts to increase. A south wind cranks up. That'll keep our temperatures warm. And then tomorrow, cold front moves into the north and west. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. And we'll watch for those thunderstorms to take off in the southwest tomorrow afternoon and right up to the north and to the east. And then again, the severe risk with these will be again some hail and some wind, heavy rain, and lightning. Tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, additional thunderstorms down to the southwest, up to the north, into the metro, and across northeastern Oklahoma. And that would be again behind the cold front, but you can still get storms that produce some wind and some hail. We have additional threats as we go into your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll talk more about that coming up. But regardless, Colby, this is definitely a week to stay weather aware. It is a jam-packed 9-day forecast for you with ups and downs, cold fronts, and daily rain and thunderstorm chances. Back over to you.
All right, we've been warned, Megan. Thank you. Rising construction costs, economic uncertainty, and ongoing tariffs are sidelining buyers and also straining builder confidence. While tariffs get much of that blame, a Metro expert says broader industry pressures are also at play. News 9's Stephanie Minichi has the details.
A report from the National Association of Home Builders estimated that $204 billion worth of goods were used to build both new multifamily and single-family housing in 2024. $14 billion of those goods were imported from outside the U.S. President of the Oklahoma Home Builders Association, Ryan Martinez, says Tariffs absolutely play a role in whether construction workers have jobs or not, but adds concessions helped mitigate that.
Canadian lumber has been excluded from tariffs, gypsum from Mexico, so that's what all your drywall is made out of, things like that. Some efforts to keep those prices down.
Martinez points to rising labor costs and worker shortages as additional challenges. A recent report shows 11,000 construction jobs were lost in December, but he doesn't attribute those losses to tariffs or inventory levels.
You have a lot of people retiring and not a lot of younger people coming in to replace those folks.
Martinez adds up to 28% of the fees that go into building a home are based on local regulations.
Zoning regulations, impact fees, all the costs that go into getting a building permit, it's expensive. It drives up the cost of homes, and that's passed on to the end consumer at the end of the day.
Contrary to what some reports have put out, Martinez says construction trades are not having a difficult time finding work, but says the issue is the need to fill these jobs.
If you're a skilled tradesman in the state of Oklahoma, you got people knocking on your door to try to give you work.
Stephanie Minichi, Oklahoma's own News 9.
And while mortgage rates have come down recently, they still have been a hurdle lately. It's made it tougher for people getting financing to feel confident about buying a home, and all of that plays an additional role in what you're seeing in the housing market. Coming up, the Bricktown Canal back open after a full draining and cleaning. What surprise crews found? It's coming up next. Welcome back. Oklahoma City Parks and Rec crews finish up the cleaning process of the Bricktown Canal. In fact, our news tracker, Lex Stanfield, got shots. This video is from this morning. You can see the water. It's back in there now after weeks of cleaning.
Crews previously told us they found 87 goldfish.
Yeah, saw that.
After draining, along with cell phones. That's not surprising. Skateboards, electric scooters. I don't know, kind of weird. The last time the canal was drained was back in 2020. So that's quite a bit for 5 years.
I know it was probably just some like jerk throwing a scooter into the canal, but I like to imagine that they tried to jump it like Evel Knievel. And that's how the scooter ended
I'll
up
let
in
you
there.
imagine that.
Let's just pretend. Don't try it, okay? Even if it's clean water, don't try it. But yeah, they've been working hard on that. We've been talking about all the stuff they found. It's pretty wild. We saw some of the video of the goldfish, which got huge. But it's clean and back open now.
There we go. That's all that matters.
It's not an excuse to jump in it, so don't do it.
No, don't do it. Definitely don't.
Even though it might feel like you want to. It's been so warm. Now the cold front's here, and it's a very different story.
Today is cooler, 40s, 50s. We will have 60s down in southern Oklahoma. Tomorrow, south winds kick in, and we crank it right back up to the mid to upper 70s. We've got some cloud cover this morning. 37 is our temperature. It feels like 29, so you'll notice the chill out the door. Grab the coat. Again, this afternoon, cooler with cloud cover, and then tomorrow, a big warm up. That cold front in the northwest will spark thunderstorms into the afternoon and evening, and a few of those could be strong to severe. We'll talk about the very latest. We have threats all week long, Colby.
Yeah, I spent yesterday afternoon cleaning out the storm shelter.
Good job. That's
Clean
a
it
good
out,
choice.
but hope you never have to use it. Jaden's getting ready. He's getting the chairs in place. Glad you're with us. Robin and Lacey will join us right after this.
A late-night police chase ends in a crash in northeast Oklahoma City. I'm Lacey Lowry. Right now at 4:30, the latest details from authorities at the scene.
And 1 week after Mexican forces killed the leader of a powerful cartel, violence continues south of the border. I'm Colby Thielen. Why U.S. officials are now hopeful it could slow down drug trafficking. It's ahead.
I'm Robin Marsh. Good morning. And March is here and bringing some much needed rain. Multiple rounds of rain, possible severe weather this week. Megan's forecast is coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
4:30 on our Monday morning as we say good morning and thanks for starting early here with us at News 9.
It's already March, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And man, we have an active pattern this week. Did you guys see the hail come down in Cushing yesterday?
That was
Yes.
crazy.
I looked outside in Edmond. I was like, I've got sun right now.
Yes,
It
I
looked
thought,
like
is
snow
this
on the
some
ground.
old video? And it was like, no, 8 minutes ago.
It's so wild, but hey, that's Oklahoma. Depends on which side of the state you're on. It seems like sometimes. Let's turn to Megan. Megan, right now what we're feeling out the door is just a little chilly.
Yeah, after yesterday's cold front, you'll notice the cooler temperatures today. But guys, this is a week to really stay dialed in day by day. We have severe threats, and each of the threats bring a different part of the state and a different setup. So we'll talk all about it coming up. But again, just check in with us each and every day because things will be changing. Most importantly, we are getting some much needed rainfall. This will put a big dent in the drought. And for today, there is no severe risk. We may have an isolated shower or two this morning, and otherwise it's a dry day. By Tuesday afternoon into your Wednesday, Thursday, and definitely into Friday, severe weather risks. We're talking wind, hail, and even on Friday, we may have a low tornado threat. Just to take you back to yesterday, the metro, we were dry, but northeastern Oklahoma had thunderstorms for most of the day during the overnight hours. A few little showers down in southeastern Oklahoma, and now we are all dry here at 4:32 on your Monday morning. There's your Chickasha cam, part of our Lucky Stars Sky Cam network. 37 is our temperature right now. It feels like 29 with a north wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So a big chill in the air. 40 down in Purcell, 44 in Pauls Valley, Weatherford 32, 34 in Clinton, and 31 in Sealing. So up in the northwest, below freezing, a north wind at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, and wind chill values in the 20s. Up in the northwest, a few teens. So bundle up this morning. We'll talk all about the latest threats, the storms. That starts tomorrow. It's all coming up.
One person is in the hospital after a police pursuit in Oklahoma City. It actually started with Edmond police officers trying to stop a car just before 11 p.m. and then the car took off. Police say the suspect tried to ditch them several times, turning their lights off and on. The suspect eventually lost control of the car and crashed into a barrier near Northwest 122nd and Broadway Extension. We do not know the name of the suspect or their condition. One person is in the hospital this morning after a shooting in southwest Oklahoma City. This was the scene around 8 o'clock last night near Southwest 29th and Portland. Police tell us when they got to the scene, they found one person with gunshot wounds. That person is stable in the hospital this morning. The motive for the shooting is unknown. Police say they do not have a suspect in custody. We'll get an update from police later this morning.
Now let's go to Moore, where a woman is dead after being hit by an Amtrak train. Officers were called to the scene. This was Saturday night near I-35 and Indian Hills Road. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what led to that woman being hit.
Currently, we are investigating the crash and the incident about what happened, why this person was on the tracks. We don't have a whole lot of information right now.
As soon as the police department has that information and passes it along to us, we'll bring it to you. That woman's name, meanwhile, has not been released. Police say there were people on that train at the time, but no one else was injured.
And we've learned a pizza delivery driver was shot on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. Police still trying to find out who did it, looking for the gunman. This was the scene about 11 p.m. Saturday night, right near Northeast 16th and MLK. Two young suspects, we are told from police, robbed the Domino's driver at gunpoint and then shot him in the back. Police say the suspects ran from the scene, taking the pizza and the cash. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries.
The Bryan County Sheriff's Office has arrested a teenager in connection to a murder in Colbert. Deputies found 31-year-old Mallory Clayton dead inside a Colbert home Thursday evening. Investigators say that her injuries were consistent with homicide, and a 13-year-old was later identified as a person of interest. He was taken into custody Friday morning in Texas. Officials say no other suspects have been identified.
This week, former state representative A.J. Pittman will find out how much she will have to pay after she pled guilty to felony charges. Pittman pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit a felony and resigned from office last month after an investigation by the Attorney General's office. Prosecutors allege Pittman falsified and submitted documents to the Oklahoma Ethics Commission while operating under a settlement agreement related to her improper campaign spending. Pittman's hearing is on Wednesday.
Well, Tinker Air Force Base is temporarily suspending its Trusted Traveler program. That immediately will change how visitors without credentials enter the base. So if you are not authorized with any access to go onto Tinker, you must now get a visitor pass and secure a sponsor before entering Tinker Air Force Base. Sponsors must submit requests through the Visitor Control Center, and both parties must appear in person for pass approval. It has been 1 week since Mexican forces killed the leader of the powerful New Generation Cartel, sparking violence in Mexico.
Back here at home, United States federal law enforcement officials hoping drug trafficking will now decrease. News 9's Kylie Dedman spoke with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics on the possible impact to Oklahoma. Kylie?
Lacey, the CJ Energy cartel is considered to be one of the biggest threats for public safety and national security here in the United States. And although a new leader is expected to take over, Oklahoma authorities say they don't believe the cartel's operations will be slowing down in Oklahoma anytime soon.
There may be some disruptions with the leadership side, but on the distribution and trafficking side, they're not going to let that stop.
In Oklahoma, the CJ Energy is responsible for moving hundreds of thousands of pounds of meth, fentanyl, and cocaine through state highways. Spokesman for the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics, Mark Woodward, says the cartel uses Oklahoma as a distribution hub due to interstates like I-35 and I-40.
So we are certain that the Jalisco cartel does have their fingerprints on a lot of the shipments that end up here in Oklahoma, whether that is fentanyl, meth, or cocaine.
Oklahoma law enforcement was recently named Interdiction Team of the Year for their work along the state's highways, using canine units and coordinated traffic stops to intercept drugs before they make it deeper into the country.
So we don't want the cartels thinking Oklahoma is a safe haven for their activity, and our agency is going to continue to keep the pressure on them.
In February of last year, the Trump administration designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Reporting live outside the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics headquarters, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Mark Woodward says authorities remain focused on really disrupting the cartel's money flow, making sure profits from drugs, weapons, and human trafficking don't make it back to Mexico.
The Hennessy Public School District announces there will be no school or school activities today due to a potential school threat. It was anonymously reported last night. In a message to families, the district said, quote, "The safety of our students and staff is always our highest priority. We hope to resume classes on Tuesday and will communicate with our school community as soon as more information is available." The district goes on to say that the Hennessy Police Department is investigating the credibility of that threat.
Also today, Putnam City Public Schools announcing its new superintendent. The school district will hold a press conference this morning where the incoming superintendent will be revealed and give a speech, even welcoming some gifts from students and staff. It's a big day. District officials say the current superintendent, Dr. Fred Rhodes, is retiring at the end of the school year after 50 years in education. We will be at that news conference today, and we'll bring it to you live on the air and news9.com.
Congrats, Dr. Rhodes.
50
Can you imagine?
Years.
two and a half months. That's it. Till school's out.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. I can't imagine 50 years.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Wow, how much has changed.
Yeah, what all he's seen
Yeah.
and been a firsthand witness to in education, and congratulations again. All right, we got to switch gears. We got a lot to see this week weather-wise, that's for sure.
Yeah, let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan Gold standing by. Megan, an active week.
A very active week. Your 9-day will kind of make your head spin. There is so much on there in terms of rain, thunderstorm chances, severe weather chances, and cold fronts. To take you back to yesterday, a high high temperature of 79 degrees, and today will be much colder behind that cold front. We are tracking severe weather chances. Get ready. It will be a jam-packed week. March is starting very active. We'll talk all about it coming up right after the break.
Also ahead, a temporary pause on new medical marijuana license could last longer while lawmakers are looking to limit new marijuana grow operations in Oklahoma. We're talking more about it next.
Good morning. 4:43 your time right now, and we're talking about the big changes that are coming this week. We felt those changes last night, and some folks even saw some severe weather.
Man, that hail up in the Cushing area,
It
it
looked
came
like
down fast and furious, right?
I've got
on
the video, so let's take a look at it. If we can take links one, guys. This was kind of an isolated severe storm up in the Cushing area that pushed off towards Creek County in northeastern Oklahoma, and it looks like sleet or snow.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with the temperature profile this time of year, you can get hail, but you can get a lot of it. So it's possible that we see more of this as we go through the week. And I'll tell you what, after the warmest February on record, it's no surprise that we are kicking things off early this year. So you'll want to be dialed into the forecast each and every day. We do have severe risks starting tomorrow into your Wednesday, definitely into your Friday and your Saturday. And there's the live look right now across the country. Things are pretty quiet. The cold front moved through yesterday, and our first storm that will impact us for your Tuesday is just now this morning coming onto the west coast. And that area of spin is what is going to bring in some energy energy. We'll have some instability. Temperatures will warm up greatly with a south wind tomorrow, and that's what will help bring in that severe risk. On its tail end, another storm, and if I take you back even farther west into the Pacific, there are additional storms lined up. So I'll tell you what, really through the middle of March, things are so very active with these storms lined up, and I think we get another strong cold front sometime around the 11th through the 12th. So it doesn't mean that winter is coming back, but we'll definitely go back to the 40s and 50s and have some cooler days. So let's start with tomorrow afternoon. Today is a dry day, no severe threats if you're getting the kids ready for school. We're totally dry, minus an isolated shower or two this morning, but right now, totally dry. Here's 1 o'clock future next gen. We'll watch for thunderstorms to take off in the southeast and right up into the metro by 3, 4 to 5 o'clock. These are going to be out ahead of the cold front. So we're talking wind, hail, heavy rain, and lightning. Not looking at a tornado risk here, but these move off into northeastern Oklahoma, and that is kind of round one. We have another round that comes in Tuesday night into your Wednesday, and these storms will try and take off along the Texas-Oklahoma state line. And these are going to ride up to the north and east as well. And these will be behind the cold front, but can still produce some large hail up to the size of golf balls. Now, out ahead of the cold front, it doesn't look like we have too much in the way of thunderstorm activity, but it is still possible that we have additional risks down to the southeast for your Wednesday. So again, it's jam-packed. It's hard to keep up with each and every single day. So we'll really walk you through it kind of day by day here. Here's the live look from our Chickasha cam, part of our Lucky Stars Sky Cam network. 37 is our temperature right now, and it feels like 28. So from a high of 79 yesterday to 37 this morning, there's a big chill in the air. 38 in Edmond to Guthrie, 37 in Okarche to Kingfisher to Piedmont, and 35 in Minco. Up in the northwest, we've got temperatures below freezing, 42 in Altus and 39 in Lawton. North winds behind the front. We've had a few gusts to 20 and 25, but most of us at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. But that's giving us wind chills in the teens and 20s. So bundle up this morning. This afternoon will be much cooler than what we had yesterday. 40s and 50s, 60s down to the south. We'll have cloud cover. If we get some late day sunshine, we may end up a little bit warmer. So we'll see. But overnight tonight, mostly cloudy skies. We're dry, we're mild. South winds start to become gusty, so our temperatures will be much warmer tomorrow. And then tomorrow is, again, kind of the first day on your 9-day to watch. Cold front moves into the north and west, and that will become the focal point for thunderstorms to develop into the afternoon. Out ahead of it, temperatures are very warm, a south wind that is very gusty, pumping in that Gulf moisture. And tomorrow afternoon and evening, thunderstorms take off down near Altus to Hobart and Lawton, and these are going to ride up right along the I-44 corridor. We may see a thunderstorm over Clinton to Stillwater to Ponca City, but again, I think it's really in this darker green here, and any of those storms will be capable of hail up to the size of $50, 60-mile-per-hour winds, heavy rain, and lightning. Then into tomorrow night, your Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, additional showers and thunderstorms across the southwest, up to the north and east, and these will also pose a severe threat, even though they're behind the cold front. So golf ball size hail, 65-mile-per-hour winds, and again, heavy rain and lightning. Friday is definitely a day that we're watching for more of those ingredients to come together, golf ball size hail, and even a low tornado risk. So again, that is a ways away. We've got to get through the next several days, but really just want you dialed in here because it is an active week and a jam-packed 9-day forecast. Temperature ups and downs with a couple of cold fronts, and those warm temperatures mean instability, which means those stronger thunderstorms. Sunday is a dry day, and we get active again next week. Guys, back over to you.
Other headlines this morning: a temporary halt on medical marijuana business license could actually soon be extended.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand with the bill that would limit new marijuana grows even after that moratorium for all other businesses is eventually lifted. News 9's Matt McCabe has the latest.
Careful.
And of course, we'll get that Bat McKay package. You can find it right now over at news9.com and on the News 9 app. Had some technical difficulties playing it there. What we do want to tell you, though, this morning is that there are a handful of bills that are making their first reading. All of them involve marijuana. That was last week. We'll be following the progression through the state legislature and bring you those updates right here and at news9.com.
We're nearing 5 a.m. Coming up this Wednesday morning in the Spotlight, my podcast, he was Oklahoma's lieutenant governor. And when Todd Lamb ran for governor back in 2018 and fell short, he admits he was bitter about the loss. But now Lamb says he's grateful things worked out the way they did. Why his journey ultimately led him to UCO in Edmond, where he's the president. The lessons he's learned along the way. You'll see it Wednesday morning at 10:30 on Oklahoma's own original YouTube channel. Hope you'll be watching.
Welcome back. The Oklahoma City Thunder waking up with a win after beating the Dallas Mavericks last night on the road. Final score 100-87. MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores 30 points for OKC. He now holds the longest streak in NBA history for scoring at least 20 points in 59 consecutive road games. Now, we are so glad he's back because he sat out for 9 games due to that abdominal strain. Up next, the Thunder play the Bulls tomorrow night in Chicago. Tip-off 7 p.m.
Yeah, the headline from ESPN, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander posterizes Max Christie.
There you go.
Some point in the game, he dunked on a guy, and it was awesome. So glad to have him back. Hey, by the way, we want to remind you, get you ready for severe weather season. You can come meet our entire News 9 weather team, Storm Trackers, Mason Dunn, Bob Mills Sky News 9. All of that happening this weekend, the 10th annual Severe Weather Awareness Expo. It's happening Saturday from 11 to 2 at the Penn Square Mall. Megan, you'll be out there as well. And I'm sure a lot of folks are going to have some questions after this week because it looks like a very active week when it comes to...
It's like the calendar changes to March and all of a sudden you guys go crazy with weather.
Just madness. Well, I think February was kind of we kind of knew it was coming, right? When temperatures start so warm, so early, we're kind of like, we're getting into this thing early.
Boy.
So we'll have a lot to talk about, that's for sure, especially after this week. And we would love to have you come out and see us. Let's get you out the door here at 4:55 this morning. Cold front came through yesterday. Breezy north winds this morning and from a high of 79 degrees. Yesterday afternoon, we will be about 20 to 25 degrees colder this afternoon. Cloud cover hangs in pretty tough today. Wind chill values are in the teens and 20s up in the northwest. And this afternoon, Alva to Enid, upper 40s, Woodward 51, 53 here in Oklahoma City. We'll have some 60s and 70s down in southern Oklahoma. Winds are pretty light today. As we go into tomorrow, thunderstorms take off in the afternoon and evening. Another round overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. And notice there, we essentially have a daily threat each and every day. Friday looks to be the day that could be a bigger day for us with a low tornado risk. So we're watching that. But again, we've got to get through the next several days. That's the most important part. And another important part here is we're going to put a dent in the drought. Big time rain totals, 1 to 3 inches at this point. Remember, everybody's rain gauge is different when you have storms coming in, but some of the heaviest storms could give us 2 to 3 inches of rain here in the metro. We'll talk more about it coming up.
Robin, as you like to say, tie a knot and hold on.
Hold on tight,
You better tie that knot very tight this week. We'll be following. Hey, coming up, are you planning to vote in Oklahoma's primary this year? Well, if you're a registered independent, there is an important deadline that you need to know. We're breaking it down, where you should go, what you need to know. It's ahead right here at 5.
Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved.
President Trump says fighting is escalating in the Middle East this morning after the U.S. and Israel strike Iran over the weekend. I'm Lacey Lowry. Right now at 5 o'clock, the latest from the region and the impact here at home.
Also this morning, we are asking, could drug trafficking slow down with the killing of a drug cartel leader from Mexico? I'm Robin Marsh. What this means for Oklahoma, it's coming up.
I'm Colby Thielen. We're tracking severe weather chances this week. Some of us already saw hail in Cushing. You're seeing the video right now. The timing for multiple rounds of rain and storms is coming up in your full forecast.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Monday morning, the first Monday of March, and we have all those changes coming up. We're going to talk to Megan in just a minute. We just want to remind you that we're live right now on our News 9 YouTube channel. You can scan this QR code right here on your screen. I'll give you a second because you got to pull the phone out, take a picture of that. You can subscribe, leave any questions, leave a comment in the chat, and then we'll be talking about them throughout the newscast.
Ooh, it's a Monday morning.
It's March, too. I mean,
Hard to
spring
believe,
break is almost here. We are just clicking through this year, it feels like.
Time marches on.
I
It
know.
does. Yeah, all right, let's see how we're doing. We might have some springtime storms this week, too. A week to be weather aware, Megan.
Absolutely. Warmest February on record. Meteorological spring began yesterday, and we are kicking things off early. Here's the good news. The silver lining is that with the rounds of rain and storms headed our way here over the next 9 days and really beyond, we're going to put a big dent in the drought. Now, the hope is that western Oklahoma, you can pick up a little bit more rain, but right now the highest totals look to be from Oklahoma City off to the east, 3 to 5 inches possible in far eastern and southeastern Oklahoma, and those totals will change as we go through the week and we fine-tune the data. But I tell you what, that is really good news for us. Here on your Monday morning, Next Gen is totally dry, but in the coming days that will change. Here is the live look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Cloud cover over Oklahoma City right now. 37 is our temperature right now. The cold front came through yesterday and much colder air has settled in. 29 is our wind chill with 85% humidity. Ceiling, you're below freezing at 31, 35 in El Reno down to Minco, 39 in Purcell, 41 from Byers to Tecumseh, Shawnee and Holdenville, and we have 50s down to the south where there is still a south wind out ahead of that cold front. Winds out of the north, Enid at about 18 miles per hour. You got to Clinton, 15, 17 in Hobart, so 10 to 20 miles per hour, a gust or 2 to 25, and wind chills in the teens and the low to mid 20s. So bundle up this morning as we go into the coming days. Again, it is all about severe weather risks. We'll talk about each and every storm, what the risk poses, and also how cold temperatures get behind these cold fronts coming through. It's coming up.
Overnight, a driver is taken to the hospital after a police pursuit ends in a crash in northeast Oklahoma City. It actually started with Edmond police trying to pull over a car for speeding just after 11 p.m. The driver took off, though. Officers say the driver tried to switch his lights off and on multiple times, trying to lose police. That driver eventually lost control and hit a concrete barrier near Northeast 122nd and Broadway Extension. No officers or any other drivers were hurt.
Well, tensions are growing in the Middle East following American and Israeli strikes in Iran, which killed the country's supreme leader. Iran's security chief says this morning Tehran, quote, will not negotiate with the United States.
And also new this morning, Kuwait's defense ministry says several U.S. warplanes crashed. All crews survived, but we do know at least 3 American soldiers died in this operation so far. Bradley Blackburn takes a look at the wider impact.
Airstrikes and missiles in the Middle East have forced commercial travel in the region to grind to a halt. At major hubs like Dubai, Doha, and Tel Aviv,
we are essentially stuck.
Travelers like this group of Baptist pastors visiting Israel are trying to figure out how to get home. They spent the weekend in bomb shelters.
The concern is how long is it going to be before the Tel Aviv Ben Gurion Airport opens up? The adrenaline rush of what to do, where to go, what's about to happen. Who do we tell? Are we going to the right place? How much time do we have?
The U.S. Embassy in Israel says Americans stuck abroad shouldn't rely on the government for help and to arrange their own departure plans. Closer to home, there were demonstrations from coast to coast and cities in between over the weekend, some protesting the use of military force.
People in Iran have the right to determine for themselves their own future, and it's not up to us to meddle in the affairs of other countries.
While others celebrated the end of the supreme leader's rule and the possibility of change.
I don't think the world knows how big of an event this is, and looking down 5 years, 10 years down the road, this would be a history-defining moment.
Nationwide, more protests are scheduled for today, with Stop the War rallies planned in multiple cities. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Now, those national protests also made their way to Oklahoma. Dozens of people gathered in Tulsa protesting the Trump administration's attack on Iran. Those against the strikes say they're concerned about new wars starting, while some Iranians living here say it was time for a change.
We don't believe that we need to be in any new wars, regime change, whatever. We know we've seen what's happened in Iraq. We've seen what's happened in Afghanistan.
The only pathway towards democracy and freedom for the Iranian people is military external intervention.
And meanwhile, experts are watching oil prices here at home very closely. Just checking the early morning numbers here. Brent crude up to $82 a barrel. We do know Iran is the fourth largest oil producer among the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. Iran sits on the Strait of Hormuz, which is a vital shipping channel right there in the Persian Gulf. A University of Tulsa professor says gas prices could go up if Iran decides to block the Strait of Hormuz.
If that supply stops, then, the world is not really able to receive almost 20 to 30% of the crude, which it needs. And if the inventory is small, and that is the case right now, the prices can go up very quickly.
And we do want to mention later this morning, right here on News 9, U.S. Senator James Lankford will join us live. We'll be asking him on his thoughts of the developing situation that's taken place in the Middle East. Don't miss that. We will interview the senator coming up at 6:45 this morning.
In Texas, the FBI is investigating a mass shooting at an Austin bar as a potential act of terrorism. Police say the gunman shot and killed 2 people and injured 14 others early Sunday morning before officers shot and killed him. Investigators say the gunman was wearing a shirt that said "Property of Allah" and had pictures of Iranian leaders in his home.
Back here in the metro, Oklahoma City police still looking for a suspect in the shooting that sent a man to the hospital. Officers found that victim near Southwest 29th and Portland. This was around 9 o'clock last night. Police have not shared details about the suspect at this point or what led up to that shooting. We will be following the investigation. And police are also looking for 2 people they said robbed and shot a pizza delivery driver late Saturday night right near Northeast 16th and MLK. Officers said the suspects took the victim's cash and the pizza, then ran away. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Police and more are investigating after finding a woman hit and killed by a train. This happened Saturday night at Indian Hills Road, just east of I-35. Police and more have not shared any other details about the train collision or the victim.
An effort to get a new political party on the 2026 ballot has fallen short. The Sooner State Party tried to collect 35,000 signatures to give Oklahomans an option to vote as an independent. The group said they were short about 400 signatures. Advocates say they will start a new petition in November. Oklahoma primary elections are closed this year to Republican and Democratic voters only. Registered independents hoping to vote this year must change their party affiliation by March 31st. That is to vote in the primary.
All right. Active weather pattern this week.
Yeah, March came in and it's making itself known.
It's roaring loud, right? There you go.
Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thankfully, today is a dry day. It will be a cooler day behind the cold front from yesterday. And then tomorrow, we will kick things off with our first severe threat of the week. And we will have severe risks each and every day, different parts of the state from different setups. And we'll talk all about it. But it's a lot to keep up with because it is a jam jam-packed week. So just showing you tomorrow afternoon, thunderstorms take off in the southwest, riding up towards Tulsa and the northeast, with more thunderstorms taking off in the evening. We'll talk about what these storms do, the threats, how much rain do we see when all of this is said and done. It's coming up.
Also ahead, Governor Kevin Stitt signs a new law in honor of an Oklahoma college student who died from fentanyl. How it will change fentanyl awareness education in schools. We're talking about it next.
All right, welcome back. It's a Monday morning. Hope you enjoyed the weekend and kind of ready for we need some rain big time.
Yes. We do need some rain. Sorry, we're laughing because Colby is
Being sassy.
being sassy on a Monday morning.
She's like, oh, I was going to bring you a Celsius and forgot.
As a
Oh,
thank you
thanks.
present. I'll do
Thanks
it
for letting me know
tomorrow.
your intention.
At least I was thinking about it.
Yeah, you
Yes,
were. Thank you. That
exactly.
means a lot. We're
thinking
about
about
the
the
weather.
rain.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this week is jam-packed. And essentially, guys, when you have threats each and every day, it's really important that you just stay dialed in because we kind of have to take it day by day. So that's what we're going to do. The good news for today, if you're getting ready to go out to work, send your kids to school, there is no severe risks today. Today is a dry day, but what you will notice is that we are about 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday because of the cold front that came through. So today is a cooler day, and then tomorrow we're going to jack temperatures up. We're back into the 70s, south winds pumping Gulf moisture, and we'll have enough instability to have some thunderstorms take off in the afternoon and evening out ahead of a cold front, and that will last into your Wednesday. There are severe threats on Thursday. Friday is the day that we have been been watching for about a week or two now, with the ingredients coming together for maybe a higher end severe day. And by that, I mean a tornado threat. So we'll watch that very closely. Again, we've got to get through several rounds before we even get to Friday. Into your Saturday, Sunday, and Monday look quiet. And then we have more storms coming in next week. So the silver lining here, I know it's not fun when severe weather season kicks off early, but the silver lining is that we need the rain so desperately. We've had wildfire trouble here over the past couple of weeks, and it does look like we do still see 1 to 3 inches in Oklahoma City. I think a lot of spots 2 to 3 inches. The farther east you go, the totals will be higher, and down in southeastern Oklahoma, there will be areas that pick up 3 to 5. So it really just depends on where the heaviest storms set up, how fast they move, and how much rain they can dump. So we are tracking these storms as they're coming in from the west. Our first storm coming onto the coast of California and Oregon this morning. And here's the good news again. Next Gen is totally quiet, but it is ready to go as we go into tomorrow. So let's go ahead and start with our first severe risk of the week that comes in tomorrow afternoon and evening. A cold front is going to move into northwestern Oklahoma. And out ahead of it, we're going to watch. We'll have enough instability, a south wind, again, the moisture and lift to have these thunderstorms take off along the I-44 corridor into the metro, maybe by rush hour, and then up to the north and east. That's round 1. There's another round that comes in after sunset, 8 to 9 to 10 o'clock up in the northwest and back down to the south and west. And these are going to ride up to the north and to the east as well. And that'll kind of be it. Maybe a few additional showers and thunderstorms down to the south and east as the cold front moves south and east, and that is where the severe risk will be for your Wednesday afternoon. The Oklahoma City metro will not be included in that. So what you're looking at here, this is future CAPE, and this just shows you instability as we go into Tuesday afternoon and evening. These numbers are not out of control, but again, we'll have enough instability to have some of these storms produce some hail, some wind, very heavy rain, and lightning. And again, by your Wednesday, that is all down to the south and to the east. Cloud cover has taken over Oklahoma City. We hope you had a great weekend, and we're happy you're with us here on your Monday, throwing a lot of information at you here. It is 37 degrees, feeling like 29, and a north wind at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Low to mid to upper 30s, 40s to the east of I-35, and 50s down to the south. There are your north winds. It'll have a bite to it this morning with wind chills in the teens and 20s up in the northwest, feeling like 29 in Oklahoma City. This afternoon is significantly cooler than yesterday. Some data says we're warmer, some data says we're cooler, but with the cloud cover around, I think we will struggle to make it out of the low to mid 50s. If we get late day sunshine, we may end up around 55 degrees, but regardless, it is a cooler day. Warmer down to the south, 48 in Alva and 49 in Enid. Tonight, mostly cloudy, dry, mild, sleep good, no thunderstorms, we're good to go. And then tomorrow afternoon, south winds really crank up. They'll be gusty in the morning. Cold front moves into the north and west, and that will spark our thunderstorms. Tomorrow afternoon and evening, we'll watch for those to become strong, maybe severe. And then tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, same deal. Golf ball size hail, 65 mile per hour winds, the cold front down to the south, and that's where the severe risk will be for your Wednesday afternoon and evening. And Friday afternoon into your Saturday morning brings an even bigger severe risk. We'll watch that very closely, but again, taking this day by day. Your 9-day forecast has 3 cold fronts on it, and guys, I think we turn much cooler sometime around the 11th through the 12th with a stronger cold front taking us back into the 40s and 50s. Back over to you.
Megan, thanks. Now to the latest from the state capitol. Governor Kevin Stitt signs a new law creating fentanyl awareness education in Oklahoma schools.
Rain's Law was created in honor of a 19-year-old Cameron University student who died after taking a pill she didn't know was laced with fentanyl.
News 9's Elizabeth Fitz shows us how Rain's mother is the one who pushed for the change.
Carla Carlock, Rain's mom, has found a way to turn her profound grief into life-saving action. She says she is grateful that the law passed, but hopes people will remember her daughter for the life she lived.
Rain Reese was 19 and studying early childhood education at Cameron University in the spring of 2023.
I plan to teach second or first grade. I love little kids and I want to make a difference in the world.
Her mom says she was proud of her talents, but it was Rain's heart that made her the most proud.
Rain was probably the kindest, most loving, creative person I've ever known. Like, she's so special. She was really good at art and writing, and she could sing.
The oldest of 4, she also loved animals, including her dog Mars.
She always said, I feel like God made Mars just for me. And then after Rain passed away, I was like, he made her for me too. Because I wouldn't have gotten up every day to do anything after I lost Rain. I didn't even want to get up out of bed, but there was no one to take care of her.
Carlock says the day before her daughter passed away, Rain spoke with her mom about returning to counseling and medication for mental health challenges. She Googled what a generic Xanax looks like.
She probably thought, okay, this is real, it's safe. And I think a lot of kids might think that, like, oh, I'm not going to die from one pill, or this looks like medication, so it can't be a real drug, but it is.
Under Rain's law, students in grades 6 through 12 will receive fentanyl abuse prevention education. The legislation also directs the Oklahoma State Department of Education to develop curriculum standards and establish a statewide fentanyl poisoning awareness week.
Rain never gets to teach on earth, but I'm hoping that she'll see from heaven all the lives that are being touched, and that these kids are going to make the decision to not try something, and they get to live.
Carlock says she hopes to see the law expanded on a nationwide level, and notes similar laws have already passed in some states like Texas and Oregon. In the newsroom, Elizabeth Fitz, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Elizabeth, thanks so much. We do want to mention state lawmakers passed Rain's law with an emergency clause, so that means it actually takes effect immediately.
Still to come here on News 9 Cleanup. Now complete at the Bricktown Canal. After weeks of work, we're going to show you what it looks like this morning, right after this.
The Bricktown Canal is finally clean and filled back up after over a month of work. Oklahoma City crews actually started work back in January to totally drain, clean, and then refill the canal. They actually pulled out 87 huge goldfish that someone dumped in. The canal was last cleaned about 5 or 6 years ago. Our crews stopped by this morning to show us the transformation as of this Monday. Looking good and clean this morning.
Got it filled up.
Nice and clear water.
It's crazy how much trash and weird stuff ends up in that canal.
I don't know why we're always
lime scooters.
Yes, a prosthetic leg. Why are we fascinated by what's at the bottom of the canal?
You just wonder, how did it get down there? And what's the
story behind it? Exactly.
I will tell you, it was a late night in Bricktown. That's how the story begins.
So I was out at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Somehow
right?
I lost my leg.
All right. Hey, Megan's here eyeing our forecast as we get back to the work week. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Nothing good happens after midnight in Bricktown. There you
Mom
go.
always
I'm
said,
worried
right?
about the leg. It seems like someone would need that. But you know what? Hey, glad that they got it all cleaned out and it's good to go. It is a cold start out the door this morning. Temperatures, they are in the 20s and the 30s. You will absolutely notice the change from this time yesterday. So bundle up if you're headed out the door. We've got 40s down to the southeast of Oklahoma City, and there's your 24-hour temperature change. As we go into tomorrow and the rest of the week, it's all about severe weather chances, a very active pattern. We'll talk all about it coming up.
Also ahead here on News 9, will the killing of a drug cartel leader in Mexico slow down drug trafficking in the U.S.? We ask Oklahoma leaders their response at 5:30.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
Your top stories now at 5:30. Fighting in the Middle East is escalating after the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iran, killing the country's supreme leader. This morning, Iran's security chief says Tehran, quote, will not negotiate with the U.S. Also, just into the newsroom, U.S. military says Kuwait mistakenly shot down 3 American warplanes during combat hours ago. Officials say 6 crews ejected safely. But what we do know this morning, at least 3 U.S. service members have been killed in this operation so far.
Boy, that video was incredible there of that shoot down. Now, back here at home overnight, a driver is rushed to the hospital after a pursuit ends in a crash right on the Broadway extension in northeast Oklahoma City. Edmond police say they tried to pull the driver over for speeding. This is about 11 o'clock last night. The driver, though, did not stop. Police say the driver, though, eventually lost control and hit the wall right near northeast 122nd and the Broadway extension.
Governor Kevin Stitt signs a new law creating fentanyl awareness education in public schools. Rain's law was named after this girl right here, 19-year-old Rain Reese, who died in 2023 after she took a pill that was laced, unfortunately, with fentanyl. Now, 6th through 12th grade students must learn about fentanyl abuse prevention in school and fentanyl poisoning. Rain's mother is hoping to expand the law on a national level. Your time now, 5:31. We do want to remind you we are live streaming right now on the News 9 YouTube channel. Just scan this QR code with your cell phone. It'll take you straight to the page. We're asking you to subscribe to the channel and then hop into the live chat, leave a comment or a question, and we will read those throughout the newscast.
David Rhodes said good morning to Megan from Snyder, Oklahoma.
Hey, there you go.
Good morning.
They're watching down in southwest Oklahoma this morning. Megan, are they going to get some rain too this week down there?
They will, and actually tomorrow afternoon, southwestern Oklahoma, Altus, Snyder, Hollis, that's where we could see thunderstorms take off, and that is kind of the first round of the week. We'll talk about it coming up here in a minute, but I just want to show you the stats are in, and when we average our high and low temperature, we came in at number 1 as the warmest February on record. Now, as we go into March, meteorological spring has begun, and we are starting things on a very active note. Today is dry, no severe risk, but we will carry a severe risk with us essentially each and every day this week and also into next week with more storms lined up. Things are pretty quiet this morning. We did have a few isolated thunderstorms, one of those up near the Cushing area, and then off in northeastern Oklahoma yesterday. They had widespread thunderstorms. For us here at home, things are pretty quiet, and NextGen is totally quiet here on your Monday morning, but the cold front moved through yesterday. You probably noticed when it hit, temperatures started to cool off, and we have a breezy to a gusty north wind there from our Chickasha cam, part of our Lucky Star Skycam network. A little haze and some cloud cover overhead. 37 is our temperature right now, and it feels like 29. So you'll notice the chill this morning, low 30s out to the west, mid 30s here in the metro, and some low 40s on the eastern side of the state, down to the south and east. Check it out. 50s compared to the 20s up in the north and west, and that's about 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday. Winds are breezy to gusty, so bundle up if you're headed out the door. Coming up here in full weather, we will talk about the severe risks day by day, what to expect. It's coming up.
It has been 1 week since Mexican forces killed the leader of the powerful Jalisco New Generation Cartel, sparking violence in Mexico.
And here at home, U.S. federal law enforcement officials hopeful this will cause drug trafficking to decrease.
But it may be a different story here in Oklahoma. News 9's Kylie Dedman spoke with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics. She joins us now. Kylie, what did you find out?
Hey guys, yeah, the CJNG cartel is considered to be one of the biggest threats to public safety and national security here in the United States. And while a new leader is expected to take over, Oklahoma authorities say they don't believe the cartel's operations will be slowing down here in the Sooner State anytime soon.
There may be some disruptions with the leadership side, but on the distribution and trafficking side, they're not going to let that stop.
In Oklahoma, the CJNG is responsible for moving hundreds of thousands of pounds of meth, fentanyl, and cocaine through state highways. Spokesman for the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics, Mark Woodward, says the cartel uses Oklahoma as a distribution hub due to interstates like I-35 and I-40.
So we are certain that the Jalisco cartel does have their fingerprints on a lot of the shipments that end up here in Oklahoma, whether that is fentanyl, meth, or cocaine.
Oklahoma law enforcement was recently named Interdiction Team of the Year for their work along the state's highways, using canine units and coordinated traffic stops to intercept drugs before they make it deeper into the country.
So we don't want the cartels thinking Oklahoma's a safe haven for their activity, and our agency is going to continue to keep the pressure on them.
In February of last year, the Trump administration designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Reporting live outside the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics headquarters, Kylie Dudman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
And Mark Woodward says authorities remain focused on really disrupting the cartel's money flow, making sure profits from drugs and weapons and human trafficking don't make it back to Mexico. An Oklahoma couple suddenly stranded in Puerto Vallarta because of the violence in Mexico is finally back home this morning. We spoke with Steve Perkins last week, who was forced to shelter in place with his wife on their Mexican vacation. The couple weren't expecting to get back to Broken Arrow until this past weekend, but they were actually able to catch an earlier flight, and they made it home on Wednesday.
And in southern Oklahoma, a 13-year-old is arrested in connection to a homicide in Colbert. That's in Bryan County. It's about a mile from the Texas border. Investigators say they found Mallory Clayton dead inside a home on Friday. Deputies say they took a teen into custody a day later after putting out an emergency alert to find them. The OSBI says they are not looking for any other suspects at this point. And in Kingfisher County, Hennessy Public Schools cancels class today because of a threat. The district says police are now investigating after the potential threat was reported last night. School leaders say they are hopeful classes will resume tomorrow.
Coming up this week on my podcast, In the Spotlight, he was Oklahoma's lieutenant governor when Todd Lamb ran for Oklahoma governor back in 2018 and lost. He admits he was not happy about it. He said it was a bitter pill for him to swallow. But now Todd says he's so grateful things worked out the way they did. Why his journey ultimately led him to UCO in Edmond, where he's the president of the university. He talks all about it, lessons learned. It's this Wednesday morning at 10:30 on Oklahoma's own Originals YouTube channel.
He's done so much in his life. I was shocked that he was a Secret Service agent.
He was a Secret Service for several presidents and then came back home. He worked at the Capitol. He was a lawmaker, lieutenant governor. And really, on the tracking for him to run for governor, he didn't even make the runoff. And he was tracking ahead. So he was like, what in the heck happened?
Wow.
And he wasn't happy about it. He's very vulnerable in our conversation about it, but he said it really was God's plan for his life. And now he said he's at the point he's like, I'm so grateful I didn't win.
Wow.
I think there's a lesson in there for all of us because we've all had setbacks, disappointments, things that didn't work out the way we planned them. And it ends up leading to, or can lead to, something even more beautiful. So, yeah, I think there's a great lesson in there.
He is so great with the students at UCO. I love his social media. You'll hear all about it. Don't forget, it's this Wednesday morning.
All right, let's get over to the Bob Mills Weather Center, check in with Megan. Megan, I'm so excited we're getting rain this week.
Big time rain, and this will absolutely put a dent in the drought. It does look like the higher totals will be from Oklahoma City off to the east. We're crossing our fingers for those of you from Weatherford, Clinton, back to Elk City that we can pick up some good rain for you all. And here's the good news for your Monday morning. While it is a colder start to the day, it's a dry start and there are no severe risks today. However, into tomorrow, this storm that I'm showing you right here, that will spark thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, and that is the start of rounds and rounds of rain and storms and severe risks. We'll talk about day by day what to expect. It's coming up.
Live look. All right, there we go. This is the Lucky Star Skycam Network. I'm lucky my mic is working. Okay, here we go. Hey, we have a traffic report. It's a Monday morning. If you're up and at 'em watching News 9, we're grateful. We're back after this.
Take it to the slots. You're ready. Hey, we want to get you ready for severe weather season. You can meet our entire News 9 weather team, our storm trackers. Mason Dunn and Bob Mills Sky News 9 will be there this weekend, the 10th annual Severe Weather Awareness Expo, Saturday from 11 to 2 at the Penn Square Mall. Always such a popular event. And the line to meet our team always very long. Yeah, so get there early.
It never ends at 2.
No, it never does.
But we're grateful for everyone that comes out. So yeah, come out. There'll be a lot to talk about after this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's jam-packed. So meteorological spring began yesterday, first day of March. February was the warmest on record, and now we will essentially have severe chances each and every day this week.
Oh my goodness.
So the setup will be different every day. It'll be different parts of the state. So my advice to you is just stay dialed in.
News 9 app.
What?
Download that News 9 weather app.
News 9 weather app. We also have information on the website with all the graphics. We post those to our Instagrams and our Facebook pages. So we'll have updates for you all week long, and we'll get through it. This is not a huge, crazy, severe weather outbreak by any means. We're talking wind and hail. I think Friday is our biggest risk for severe weather. And here on your Monday morning, there is no severe weather. That's a live look across our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Cloud cover has built in, a little bit of haze. Humidity is up this morning. No issues with fog yet, but watching for that. And I want to start by showing you the hail in Skiatook yesterday. We talked about a storm in the Cushing area that produced some not big hail, but a whole lot of hail. And that's very common this time of year, that with the temperature profile of the atmosphere, you can get some hail, but it's not necessarily big. But check it out. It looks like snow or sleet. And that's sent in from Commanda there in Skiatook off in northeastern Oklahoma. That was the same storm from Cushing that traveled north and east and produced hail there as well and dumped a whole lot of it. So here's the silver lining with the rounds of storms headed our way this week. I know there's a lot of us that don't enjoy severe weather, and maybe you've got kiddos that are nervous and scared about it. Just make sure that they know what's going on. We'll get through it. And the most important part here is that we're going to put a big dent in the drought, and we need that. After these wildfires that we've had, if we don't get substantial rain, we're just going to continue to see more and more acres burned as more wildfires continue. So through Saturday, right now, this will change, but the highest totals will be east and the lighter totals will be west. But remember, where the heaviest of the storms set up, that's where you can easily pick up an inch or 2 inches of rain. So everybody's rain gauge is different. It's one of my favorite things to say because your neighbor down the street could have less or more than you do, depending upon what happened at their house. So for today, no severe risk. Tomorrow afternoon will be the beginning of our severe risks for the week, into the afternoon, the evening, the overnight, and then Wednesday, the threat shifts down into southeastern Oklahoma. Thursday, it's really from Oklahoma City west, and then Friday is more of a statewide risk as the dry line sets up. We have a lot of humidity, warm temperatures, and the setup there for maybe a higher end day with a low tornado threat. Next gen, totally dry right now. The cold front down to the south. We've had showers and thunderstorms across northeastern Oklahoma, and you go out into the Pacific, now coming onto land over California and Nevada, and that is tomorrow and Wednesday's storm. Back behind it is storm number 2, and there are additional storms if you just go farther west and west out into the Pacific. So we'll start by tomorrow afternoon, 1 to 2 o'clock. Thunderstorms take off down in southwestern Oklahoma, moving into the metro by 4 o'clock and off to the north and east from there. It's kind of round 1. Into the evening hours, we'll watch for isolated thunderstorms to develop up into the north and west, and I think these storms will be capable of golf ball size hail. So from Hobart to Clinton to Tologa and Alva, and these move off into northeastern Oklahoma. By Wednesday morning and into the afternoon, the cold front is down to the south, and that's where the highest threat will be. Oklahoma City kind of out of that one. And then another round as we go late Thursday and into Friday morning, and that will kind of kick off our Friday threat that kind of lasts through the day. So this is showing you future CAPE and instability, and notice that we have moderate instability with us through Tuesday. Wednesday, it shifts farther down to the south and east where the cold front is. There's the live look from our downtown camera. 37 is our temperature right now. It feels like 29, mid to upper 30s with 20s in the north and west, and winds are breezy this morning. So it's a chilly start to the day. Upper 40s and low 50s, warmer down to the south, cloudy today. Tomorrow, the cold front moves into the north and west, and again, that is our focal point for thunderstorms to develop out ahead of it from Altus up through Oklahoma City and the north and east. And any of those storms will be capable of producing some hail, some gusty winds, and very heavy rain. Tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, same deal. Even those storms behind the cold front, I think could produce some good sized hail, and then that threat shifts farther down to the south into the east, and then Friday afternoon through Saturday morning, that's the one that we're watching as well. So again, throwing a lot of information at you, but just make sure you're dialed into the forecast. Couple cold fronts take us back and forth from the 70s to the 50s throughout this next week. Guys, back over to you.
Your time now, 5:48. Taking a quick look at your traffic this morning. Our crews are out and about checking on the roads for you, ready to respond to any breaking news. Our Brianna Brown is live on I-35 this morning. Brianna, how's it looking?
Good morning, Lacey. Yes, roads are looking pretty good so far this morning. We actually just got on, we're getting right here on I-40 going west. As you can see, there is some traffic, but everything is moving along really well so far this morning. We haven't really responded to any wrecks so far this morning, so that's always some good news. Hoping that that stays this way for the rest of the morning. But yeah, traffic is moving along just fine. As you can see, people are starting to wake up, start their day, probably heading to work, maybe getting ready for school, but I think traffic is moving just fine so far this morning. And like I said, no wrecks so far. Hopefully it stays that way. You definitely want to drive safe out there this morning. We're gonna go ahead and send it back to y'all.
All right, Brianna, I know you'll keep us up to date as you guys are out roaming around. We appreciate it. Still ahead here on News 9, an Oklahoma volunteer fire chief drives into massive wildfires in order to save cattle. We're going to talk to him about the close call right after this.
Live this morning on the News 9 YouTube channel, and we've asked you to subscribe, join in, leave some comments. Here's what you're saying on this Monday morning. Philip's in the chat saying, good morning from Lindsay, Oklahoma.
Hey.
Me and my 4-year-old watch every morning.
All
Start
right.
young.
That's
Love
just what
it.
time 4-year-olds wake up. I love it. Anthony says, good morning from Newcastle. What up, Anthony? What up, Newcastle? Good morning.
Newcastle, America. And Scotty says, Megan, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary at Channel 9.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's tomorrow. Yeah, I posted a little reel on my on my Instagram, so if you'd like to see it, go over and kind of
Check it out.
One whole year. That's crazy.
You blink and it goes by so quickly, right?
It's so scary how fast time
Yes.
goes, but it's been an amazing
Yeah,
year.
there
So
you
we'll
go.
see what else next
Hard to
year
believe
has.
it's March and we're talking kind of springtime storms out there too.
Yes, exactly. It's cold out the door this morning. We do have severe threats headed our way. We'll talk all about it coming up.
All right, we need the rain. All right, Colby, you got something for us this morning?
Absolutely. An Oklahoma volunteer fire chief had a close call battling wildfires in Beaver County. In fact, he drove into those flames in order to save cattle. Luckily, it was only his truck that got hurt. News 9 Shelby Love shows us those tense moments.
When most people see flames, they run away. But a volunteer firefighter decided to drive through them to save cattle, melting parts of his fire truck. From the dash of our storm tracker, we caught the tense moments on camera.
Golly, did you see that?
News 9 storm tracker Kyle Wilson is a firefighter, so he's seen some stuff.
Whoa, where'd that come from?
But while he was saving cows from wildfires last week,
We gotta get these cows.
Kyle watched a volunteer firefighter disappear through smoke, and it really stuck with him.
He went in and we lost track of him because the smoke came through there so thick. And so I had no idea if this guy got out of there alive or what. I was worried. You can hear it in my voice in the video too. Oh gosh, that guy in that fire truck. Where did he go?
2 days went by, and Kyle couldn't stop worrying.
I figured out who it was, got his phone number. I called him and I told him, I said, Troy, you don't know how glad I am to hear your voice right now.
Fire Chief Troy DeWitt was on the other end of that call. He's been with the Gate Fire Department for 32 years, so he knew what to do.
You got to keep your cool, because if you say freak out, then something bad's probably going to happen. So, you just ride it out.
Chief DeWitt rode it out just fine, and all the cattle made it out okay too. But the mirrors and the fenders on his fire truck melted from the heat.
I never ask anybody to do something that I wouldn't do. And if you're going to put yourself out there in a bad situation, I'd rather do that than have somebody else do it.
He said any flames are no match to his faith.
I firmly believe that when I'm in that truck, the Starbucks fire and this one, there was somebody else in there with me. You just couldn't see them.
Chief DeWitt wanted to thank all the other fire departments that came to help that day. And there is a GoFundMe to help the Gate Volunteer Fire Department recover from the wildfire damage. We'll have a link to it on this story on our website. Shelby Love, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Man, you talk about tough. That's an incredible story. And still ahead this morning, tensions high in the Middle East after the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iran. U.S. Senator James Lankford joins us live talking about the military operation. It's coming up at 6 o'clock.
I'm Robin Marsh. Good morning. Right now on News 9 at 6, the big story this morning, the airstrikes in Iran over the weekend. How could it impact Oklahoma oil prices? We're talking all about it next.
I'm Colby Thielen. It's been about a week since violence broke out in Mexico after a cartel leader was killed. We speak with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics. Is it having any effect on drug trafficking here in our state? We'll have the questions and answers ahead.
And I'm Lacey Lowry. Meteorologist Megan Gold says we have some severe weather in store for us this week. It could also bring some much needed rain. We are talking about your work week forecast next right here on News 9.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
6 o'clock. Good morning, Oklahoma, on this Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. And guys, we are in March, which is crazy that it's already there on the calendar.
And it's come roaring in this morning.
It
That's
sure
right.
has. March 20th, the official start of spring, but meteorological spring starts March 1st, and it is coming in with a vengeance. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. A full week here, Megan.
Jam-packed week, that is for sure. Your 9-day will make your head spin. We have daily rain and thunderstorm chances, and those do come with severe risks. So we are kicking things off early. It was the warmest February on record. As Colby mentioned, meteorological spring has begun. So happy March to all of you and happy spring. The best part about this active weather pattern and this big shift that we have entered is that the rainfall amounts will be exactly what we need with the ongoing drought. From Oklahoma City off to the east, 1 to 3 inches. I think it's possible that we see 2 to 3 inches, but there will be some folks that end up on the lower side, and the highest totals down to the south and east. Still watching if western Oklahoma, we can get your totals to come up some, but right now it still looks like we are drier to the west. The good news, the pattern stays active through the middle of the month, so it's not just this week that we are picking up these rain chances. Today, no rain in the forecast. We are dry and no severe risks. Our first opportunity for severe weather comes in tomorrow afternoon, into the night, into your Wednesday, mainly down into southeastern Oklahoma, and then on Thursday back into western Oklahoma. Friday, the day to really watch, because that is the day where the ingredients are coming together for maybe a higher end threat, meaning we're introducing a tornado threat. We've got a long ways to go before we get there, and of course, we'll keep you updated day by day. There's the live look from our downtown camera. Overcast skies, 37 degrees after yesterday's cold front. Much colder air has settled in, sealing your 32 degrees, 33 in Weatherford, 41 in Pauls Valley, 36 in Rush Springs, and Kingfisher, you are 37 degrees. So a little colder up to the north and to the east. Winds are breezy out of the north, and today will be a much cooler day with highs in the 40s and the 50s. Yesterday we were 79 degrees. Our first storm maker is coming onto the coast of California this morning. That is what will drive thunderstorm chances tomorrow into your Wednesday. We will talk all about it coming up here in just a few minutes.
Megan, thanks so much. Headlines right now at 6 a.m. We are trying to find out more information about what happened in Edmond early this morning. There was a bad crash right around 2 a.m. near I-35 and the Covell exit. Our crew saw at least one car involved. The roadway is back open right now. We are trying to find out exactly what happened, if it was just the one car involved. Keep it here on News 9 for more information through the day. Also, a police chase in Edmond ends with a crash in Oklahoma City right on the Broadway extension. This was right before midnight last night. Edmond police tell us they were trying to pull over the driver for speeding, but the driver took off. That driver then tried to black out their lights multiple times, we're told. The chase ended with police saying the driver crashing into a wall right on the Broadway extension at 122nd Street. Officers say no one was hurt.
Luckily, no officers or civilians were hurt at this point, and we're very lucky that other motorists on the road weren't impacted or hurt during that pursuit.
Now, we are told that driver was taken to the hospital. At this point, no name or condition has been released. When they get out of the hospital, police say they will face charges of felony eluding an officer.
A man is shot on the southwest side of Oklahoma City. Police say at this point they don't have a suspect. It happened around 9 last night near Southwest 29th in Portland, right close to I-44. Officers say the victim was taken to the hospital where he was reported stable. They say they plan to interview him about what exactly happened. And there's still many questions about how this weekend's airstrikes in Iran will affect us here in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's representatives in D.C. praised the U.S. military actions, with many making statements over the weekend. Our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron told us he's not surprised about this.
Now, again, Oklahoma's delegation is all Republican. They all largely support this president, so it's not surprising that they would not criticize this action. But certainly there are Democrats and Trump critics who are raising some concerns.
Now, some have questioned whether or not this was legal, how necessary the strike was, and whether the president should have gotten approval from Congress before taking this action. Coming up at 6:45, we're going to be speaking with U.S. Senator James Lankford live to hear more of his reaction to this airstrike. What's ahead? Be sure to stay tuned for that at 6:45.
It has been 1 week since Mexican forces killed the leader of the powerful Jalisco New Generation Cartel, sparking violence in Mexico. Back here at home, will his death mean drug trafficking decreases? News 9's Kylie Dedman spoke with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics about it. Kylie?
Lacey, we know that these cartels are very money hungry and will do whatever it takes to achieve that. The CJNG cartel is considered to be one of the biggest threats to public safety and national security in the United States. And while a new leader is expected to take over, Oklahoma authorities say the cartel's operations won't be slowing down in the Sooner State anytime soon.
There may be some disruptions with the leadership side, but on the distribution and trafficking side, they're not going to let that stop.
In Oklahoma, the CJNG is responsible for moving hundreds of thousands of pounds of meth, fentanyl, and cocaine through state highways. Spokesman for the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics, Mark Woodward, says the cartel uses Oklahoma as a distribution hub due to interstates like I-35 and I-40.
So we are certain that the Jalisco cartel does have their fingerprints on a lot of the shipments that end up here in Oklahoma, whether that is fentanyl, meth, or cocaine.
Oklahoma law enforcement was recently named Interdiction Team of the Year for their work along the state's highways, using canine units and coordinated traffic stops to intercept drugs before they make it deeper into the country.
So we don't want the cartels thinking Oklahoma's a safe haven for their activity, and our agency is going to continue to keep the pressure on them.
In February of last year, the Trump administration designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Reporting live outside the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics headquarters, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Mark Woodward says authorities are focused on disrupting the cartel's money flow, making sure profits from drugs, weapons, and human trafficking don't make it back to Mexico. Your time now, 6:08. We are watching your morning traffic. Our Brianna Brown is out and about on the roads. Brianna, where are you and how's it looking?
Yes, Lacey, we're here on Interstate 35 going north. We just passed the Northeast 23rd Street exit. And now we did hear a report of a crash off East Coffee Creek and Interstate 35 outside of Edmond. We're trying to get some more information on that. That did come in as an injury crash, possibly a semi versus a car. We're still working to get some more information on that. But outside of that, the morning has been pretty quiet. We haven't seen any slowdowns so far on some of the major interstates. We've been on Interstate 35 and 40. Haven't seen any major slowdowns. Traffic is moving pretty easy so far this morning, so hopefully your morning commute will be easy. We will keep you updated here with News 9. You want to stick with us. Brianna Brown reporting on Interstate 35. Brianna Brown with Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, Brianna, we'll check back in as soon as you get a little further close up in the Edmond area on that one wreck. Now, just a heads up this morning, Hennessy Public Schools will not have class today. District officials tell News 9 they were alerted to a threat made late last night, and in a social media post, officials say they were alerted through their anonymous reporting system. They have notified the Hennessy police and are now conducting a formal investigation. But again, Hennessy Public Schools are closed for today.
Putnam City Public Schools announcing new superintendent today. The district is expected to hold a news conference later this morning. It's going to be at 10 a.m. where the incoming superintendent will give a speech and even receive some welcome gifts from students and staff. District officials say current superintendent Dr. Fred Rose will retire at the end of the school year after 50 years in education.
Well, he's seen a lot, hasn't he?
That's some experience right there.
Big changing of the guard,
Yes.
for sure. We'll be at that live news conference and bring you the latest. Let's get over to Megan. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Before you go, pretty good day so far this morning, Megan.
We do have cloud cover out there, but no big weather issues for you other than it's cold, much colder than we were this time yesterday from the cold front that moved through. But I'll tell you what, it is a week to really stay dialed into the forecast as things will change day by day. Temperatures, we've got 20s up in the northwest, 30s here in the metro, and when you tack on a north breeze, it feels like the 20s and right around 30 degrees here in Oklahoma City. So your before you go forecast here, our sunrise is just before 7 o'clock. We'll hold on to the cloud cover, temperatures warming only into the upper 40s by 10 o'clock. More on your forecast coming up.
A woman is hit and killed by a train in Moore. Coming up in just a few moments, what we know so far about the police investigation.
Well, he was Oklahoma's lieutenant governor, and then when he ran for Oklahoma governor and lost, Todd Lamb says it was a bitter pill to swallow. But he tells me he's grateful that things turned out the way they did, why his journey ultimately led him to UCO in Edmond, and the lessons he's learned along the way. Hope you'll be watching my podcast. It drops this Wednesday at 10:30 on Oklahoma's own original YouTube channel. It's a great conversation. He's really a fun guy, and he's very vulnerable and just kind of was like, yeah, I was really mad I didn't win governor.
How's he leaning into the being president at UCO?
He loves it, and he really feels like it's his calling, and he loves being on campus with all those students. He said, If he's at Starbucks, he buys the person in front and behind, so all the kids like to go when the president's at the coffee shop.
Which Starbucks was this?
It's the one right on campus.
And what
there
time
on
is he
Second.
going?
Yeah, there you go. I think you'll be blessed by the conversation. It's inspiration of when, you know, you're handed a disappointment.
Yeah.
Don't let it defeat you.
Yeah.
Or define you. And so I think it'll be a blessing.
Can't wait for the In the Spotlight podcast. And this morning, 6:15, kind of chilly out there this morning.
It is. It's cold. Temperature's about 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday. So highs right around 53 today. Today's the calm before the storm, if you will, as you're getting the kids ready for the bus stop. Not worried about any type of active weather for today. You will notice the cloud cover and temperatures that are from 79 degrees yesterday to 53 degrees this afternoon. If we get some late day sunshine, which I think is very possible, we may climb several degrees warmer than that. But I'll tell you what, it's an active week of weather. And if you've got little ones that are scared of severe weather as we kind of inch into severe weather season here, just make sure you're dialed in. You talk to them about it. We'll get through it each day. The zones, the setups, they're different. And so you'll just kind of have to be dialed in day by day. But again, it's not a huge severe weather outbreak. We're talking wind and hail mostly. And as we are into March now, happy March to all of you. It was the warmest February on record with an average temperature of 52.3 degrees. When you look at second place, we only beat that by 0.1 degrees. So it was very, very close. That is your averaging of the morning low and the afternoon high. Now, as we roll into March, it is an active start. We're talking rounds of rain and storms, with several storms coming in from the west, from the Pacific. And when you add up all the rain that we get from these rounds of storms, talking 1 to 3 inches of rain here in the metro, I think it's safe to say maybe 1.5 to 3 inches of rain. And then there will be the highest totals down to the south and to the east. And we may have some flooding in some of those higher totals. Western Oklahoma, anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and the Panhandle only about 1/4 inch. And that's just through Saturday. So let's go ahead and start with tomorrow. Tomorrow is the beginning of our storm chances. The morning is dry, but as we start to heat up through the day, temperatures will be warming into the mid-70s. Cold front comes in from the north and west, and along and out ahead of that front, we'll watch for thunderstorms to take off from the southwest and roll through the metro by about 4 o'clock. So that'll kind of stop our heating of the day. Those will ride up to the north and to the east. That's round one. Into the late evening and the overnight hours, additional thunderstorms take off to the west and the northwest, and these will ride up to the north and east as well. And I think those could produce hail to the size of golf balls, even though they are behind the cold front, which typically limits your threat. Normally out ahead of the cold front, your threat is higher. The cold front is down to the south and east for your Wednesday. So Oklahoma City, we're actually out of the threat for your Wednesday, and it's more of a southeastern Oklahoma deal. We get a little bit of a break before late Thursday comes in our next round. And Thursday night into Friday will be a strong round, and then another round as we go Friday midday and into the overnight. So depending upon what happens with this Thursday night round into your Friday morning, that could totally kind of kill the atmosphere, but there's a chance that we rebound just fine and we have that higher end threat as we go into your Friday afternoon and evening. So let me show you future instability. This is one of the things that we look at. The heating of the day will have Gulf moisture in place, and especially on Friday as a dry line sets up, storms will fire along that dry line. So this shows you where we have kind of that favorable atmosphere for thunderstorms as we go through the afternoon on Tuesday into the overnight. And then look what happens as the cold front sinks down to the south and east. We have no instability back to the west and higher instability down to the south and east for additional storms in southeastern Oklahoma. So again, the Oklahoma City metro, Tuesday afternoon and evening into the overnight into early Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday afternoon it shifts into southeastern Oklahoma, late Thursday into your Friday, and then it'll exit sometime Saturday morning through midday. So again, throwing a lot at you, rounds and rounds of rain and storms. Here's the live look. That's That's the Broadway extension from our American Fidelity camera. Cloud cover overhead. 37 is our temperature this morning. We've got 50s down to the south, 20s and 30s up to the northwest with a north breeze. And today is cooler, upper 40s to the north, 53 in Oklahoma City, and we'll have some 60s down to the south of I-40. Tomorrow, our next cold front comes in from the north, and again, that is the focal point for thunderstorms to develop into the afternoon and evening. The highest kind of likelihood is the I-44 corridor, and we could see some $half to even maybe golf ball size hail that might be a little too large tomorrow night through Wednesday morning. The southwest up to the north and east, keeping the southeast dry and golf ball size hail, damaging winds, and by Wednesday afternoon and night, the threat is down to the south. And again, Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, that is that time frame that we would watch for a low tornado threat. So again, rounds and rounds. Look at all the precip chances here essentially every single day on your 9-day. A couple of cold fronts and the beginning of daylight saving time, guys. Back over to you.
Megan, thanks. It is 6:20. Let's get a check of your morning drive. Our Brianna Brown is out this morning on I-35. Brianna, I know you guys are headed to a wreck that's reported there in the Edmond area. How has it been getting there?
Yes, Colby. The good news is that getting to this wreck here, the traffic has been moving really well. But now this wreck is right off East Coffee Creek and Interstate 35. We're going north right now. It's in Edmond. Now, traffic has been okay on the way there. We are getting reports that this wreck is possibly an injury-involved wreck with a semi and car involved. We're maybe less than 5 minutes from this wreck right now. We're approaching, it looks like, Danforth Road right here on Interstate 35 going north, but this is coming as an injury wreck. We will keep you updated here as we get closer and get some more information, hoping that everyone is okay. But we're here on Interstate 35 going north. That wreck is East Coffee Creek and Interstate 35. We'll keep you updated here. Brianna Brown for News 9.
All right, Brianna, this is southbound lanes. We're hearing they're about 2 miles away. We'll continue following it after this. All right, a traffic alert for you. We've got a mess on I-35 southbound in the Edmond area. This is right kind of at Coffee Creek. And what we understand is that a car and a possible semi involved in some type of collision. You can see the car there with the blinking lights almost turned around the wrong way. This is affecting the southbound traffic. And we're trying to figure out if anyone has been injured. As we pull out, you can see the headlights for quite some time on the map. It is backed up not quite to Waterloo, so a couple of miles there. But if you're coming from the Guthrie area or far north Edmond and get off at Waterloo to come down I-35 southbound, this is what's greeting you this morning. So you might want to take an alternate route. Again, traffic slowly moving by after a car and a semi involved in a wreck. We'll continue watching that all morning long.
There you go. Let's get over to Megan Gold. She's got the outdoor forecast for us. What do you have, Megan?
I've got something good. I want to show you Brentley Williams from Kingfisher, and he has a 16-inch crappie from a pond there in Kingfisher. So a big congratulations to you, big guy. That is awesome. An awesome looking fish. There, yeah, look at that. Hey, your outdoor forecast for today, not a great outdoor day just because of the cloud cover. We may get some late day sunshine. We're dry though, so enjoy the dry, the storm-free conditions because that changes as we go into tomorrow. Severe weather risks are wrapping up. We'll talk more about it coming up right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
6:30 on our busy Monday morning. One man is shot over the weekend at Southwest 74th and May Avenue. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital where he is expected to survive. No names have been released on any suspect information. We will be asking police about it this morning.
And new this morning, Oklahoma Highway Patrol is asking for the public's help in finding this missing person here. Troopers say Dickie Tolles was last seen Sunday night near Chandler. They say he was wearing a black ball cap, black coat, and blue jeans. They also say he is suicidal, so they ask anyone with information to call 911.
And time is running out if you want to change your political party ahead of the next primary election. Both primaries are closed, meaning registered independents will not be able to vote in these primaries. The last day for independents to change their party is March 31st. And your time now, 6:31 on this March 2nd. I can't believe we're already into March and already talking severe weather.
Yeah, you blink and look, we're already gearing towards another busy season. It's going to be a busy week. We need the rain out there.
Absolutely, and spring coming in with a lot of that moisture. We desperately need it. Let's turn to Megan Gold. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan.
Good morning, guys. The sun comes up right before 7 o'clock this morning, but not seeing much of that daylight because of the thick cloud cover as the cloud deck continues to lower some. Today, we're going to fight the clouds. It was the warmest February on record. We didn't have much of a winter other than our big winter storm. No snow in the month of February, and so it's no surprise that we're kicking things off early this year. This week is a very active week, so you'll want to stay dialed in day by day as we do have daily rain and thunderstorm chances with severe weather risks and kind of the zones, the threats, those will change day by day. So again, just stay plugged in this week and we'll get through it. Here's the live look from our Chickasha cam, part of our Lucky Stars Sky Cam network. Winds are breezy. Cold front came through yesterday from a 79 degrees for a high yesterday. We're in the 40s and 50s today. So a big change up, and then tomorrow brings a big warm up. So we're going to kind of ride a roller coaster this week with our temperatures. Edmond, you're 37 degrees over to Piedmont and Yukon and Mustang. Norman, 39 degrees. Pink over to Lake Thunderbird, 40 degrees. And Meeker to Shawnee, you're in the low 40s. We've got low 50s down to the south and temperatures in the 20s. Guyman sitting at 21 degrees right now with a north breeze at about 10 to 15 to 20 miles per hour out to the west, making it feel like 25 degrees in Clinton this morning, 28 in Hobart, and 24 in Woodward. This afternoon, winds are pretty light, upper 40s and low 50s to the north of I-40 and down to the south, much warmer. But again, it's all about the cloud cover today. And then tomorrow afternoon, we will kick off our severe weather risks. We'll talk about the threats, the timing. It's all coming up.
Your time now, 6:33. We are following breaking news this morning on I-35 at Coffee Creek Road. Look at what just unfolded, a pretty bad crash. Let's check in with Brianna Brown. Brianna, what happened there?
Yes, Lacey, we're here on Interstate 35 and now we're facing north, but as you can see, that accident is in the southbound lanes. Now this is just north of Covell Road, but this accident here is in the southbound lanes and it's involving a car, and you can see that car is actually facing basically the wrong direction here, but this car was involved in a wreck with a semi. Now the semi is just behind us here, so farther going south, the semi is about maybe 200 yards. We don't have that in the shot, but you can see that car there that has been turned around facing the wrong way. Now we are this is the closest we can get to the shot because as you can see, traffic is moving just fine on the northbound lanes, but you can see that back up in the southbound lanes. It's going pretty far back, probably even farther than Waterloo here. But we're trying to get some more information. This did come in as an injury accident. We see that there are several fire trucks on scene. I haven't seen an ambulance. Not sure if they've maybe left or they're not here just yet. But we will keep you updated here on this scene. Again, this is the southbound lanes of Interstate 35 going south here just towards Covell Road. We'll keep you updated here. Brianna Brown with News 9 Oklahoma's Own.
Brianna, thank you. And right behind Brianna, there's another crash at the Kilpatrick Turnpike and I-35. We'll head there and bring you both scenes coming up.
Other headlines for you this morning. In Moore, a woman is hit and killed by an Amtrak train. It happened just after 9 p.m. Saturday, right near I-35 and Indian Hills Road. Oklahoma City police say there were people on the train at the time of the crash. No one else was hurt. Investigators are working to figure out what led up to the crash. The woman's name who was killed has not yet been released.
And to the northeast side of Oklahoma City, where police are looking for 2 suspects after they say a pizza delivery driver is shot over the weekend. Police say he was just doing his job. It happened around 11 p.m. Saturday night, right near Northeast 16th and MLK. Officers say the suspects robbed that driver, shot him in the back, and ran off. We're told the victim was taken to the hospital. He is expected to survive. So far, police have not released a description of the suspects.
Your time now, 6:35. Many are wondering how the U.S. military action against Iran will impact gas prices here at home. Oil prices did spike over the weekend. In fact, they're up 8% this morning as many shipping companies diverted their vessels away from the Strait of Hormuz, which is right by Iran. It's kind of a pinch point where around 1/5 of the world's oil passes through. A professor at the University of Tulsa says when oil prices rise, gas prices are soon to follow.
That supply stops, then the world is not really able to receive almost 20%, 20 to 30% of the crude which it needs. And if the inventory is small, and that is the case right now, the prices can go up very quickly.
He tells us any changes at the gas pump likely won't happen for a few weeks. This is one of many questions we'll be asking Senator James Lankford. He's joining us live in just a few moments.
Yeah, at 6:45 in about 10 minutes, we'll be talking with the senator. We've got a lot to talk about weather-wise as well.
Very busy week. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan, March coming in with some fury.
Coming in hot, coming in very, very strong with rounds of rain and storms. The good news, we need the moisture. It will put a big dent in the drought. But the tough part about this week is that every single day features a different setup, and it will include a different part of the state. So just taking you through tomorrow afternoon. Today is a dry day. We'll have thunderstorms take off in the southwest, up into the metro, with additional storms taking off during the evening and the overnight hours. We will talk all about it coming up right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Can you hear us? Yeah. Senator Lankford, good morning. It's Colby, Robin, and Lacey. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
News from over the weekend, the United States and Israel strike Iran.
Representatives from Oklahoma weighing in on the combat operations, and new this morning, Kuwait announcing it mistakenly shot down 3 U.S. warplanes.
There's some of that video. 3 U.S. service members also, we've learned, have been killed. President Trump warning there could be more. Joining us to discuss the expanding conflict, U.S. Senator James Lankford. Senator Lankford, thanks for joining us here this morning.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Hey, where do we stand this morning on things with Iran? What's just kind of the Monday morning outlook after this big weekend?
Yeah, 2,000 strikes over the course of the weekend. To give you a perspective, that is more than what's happened during the 12-day war with Israel and with Iran. So this has been a very steady pace. Obviously, it's regime leadership. It is the focus of the military and intelligence leadership there. Our problem is not with the people of Iran. The people of Iran are not the issue. It's the regime that they live under, and they oppress their own people. They have literally killed thousands of their own people. This regime had torture chambers to be able to manage their own people, and they have threatened everyone in the region, which is why Iran has attacked everyone in the region, because they know everyone in the region has been their enemy, quote unquote, on it. So this is the time to be able to end this constant fight against Iran that has been happening for decades now, and to be able to actually change the focus of the United States relationship with Iran in that entire region.
Senator, can you explain the timing leading up to this? Why now? America woke up Saturday morning to the news of these strikes. Why now if this has been going on for decades?
Yeah, this has been going on for decades. As people know, Iran has been working towards getting towards a nuclear weapon. The president last summer dropped the massive ordnance penetrator to stop them from advancing on their nuclear weapons. They immediately restarted that process, and now it would take them a while to be able to get it done. But they have been very focused on, no, we are going to get a nuclear weapon. They continue to be able to threaten their neighbors around them. And what the president has said is there was an imminent threat. Now, that is very likely. I'm going to sit down with the intelligence briefing later on today on it. Very likely what I expect is this a threat on Americans in that area. People lose track that there are 750,000 Americans that live in that region, in Israel, in UAE, in Saudi Arabia, in Lebanon, and in Jordan. There are a lot of Americans that live and work there. So there's been a lot in the national media saying, well, they don't have a missile that can actually reach American soil. They don't have to have a missile to reach us if they can just reach Americans that live in that region and become a threat. The president felt like they were about to take action on attacking Americans in the region, so it was time to be able to stop them first.
Senator, I wanted to ask you about the political impact. There's certainly a faction of the president's supporters that would consider themselves non-interventionists. They maybe had some problems with strikes on Iran altogether. If you're the president, how do you go about quelling those fears from those supporters of the president?
Well, thankfully, I'm not the president on it. Let me start with that. But the second issue is this is one of the hardest issues that any president has to make. These are the difficult decisions that are put in the hand constitutionally to say you've got to make a decision to be able to protect Americans. Now, if we're going to plan, go to war, and actually say we're going to start a war and to be able to take off, that is in Congress. But if you're defending Americans and saying we're about to be attacked, that is the decision that the president has to make, and it's a difficult decision to be able to make. There's been rounds and rounds of diplomatic negotiations. The president's made it very clear he wanted to be able to end this diplomatically, not through a war. But when you get to a point that Americans are under threat and you realize this is not going to get better, you have to find a moment to say, I know there's going to be a high cost. We all want to be able to stay home and to not have to deal with international conflict. But there is a point that when a bully pushes, you've got to be able to stop them.
Senator Lankford, are you concerned about sleeper cells in the United States this morning?
I am, actually. This has been part of the challenge that we face. So obviously we saw what happened over the weekend in Austin, Texas, where a man went and attacked a group of folks in Austin late night at a set of bars. We don't know all the motivation, but it looks pretty clear that he was motivated by this attack. Yes, that is one of our big concerns here. And it was one of the things that I brought up over and over again, even during the Biden administration, about the open border. We knew there were individuals that were connected to Iran that were crossing our borders, that were being allowed into the country. We had to be able to stop that. And so that is a big concern for me, and it has been. Hezbollah, that terrorist organization, has been very active for a long time, and they are very focused. So I would say reach out to your neighbors, continue to stay focused. understand that this is not about Iranian citizens. We have many Iranian citizens that live in the Oklahoma area that have been our friends, that fled from the downfall of the Shah decades ago. This is not about Iranians. This is about potential threats and about what that regime may try to do.
Senator, one more question, about 30 seconds left. Iran is threatening to close the Strait of Hormuz. Are you concerned at all about oil prices?
I am. They'll fluctuate pretty quickly, I would assume, at this point. Yeah, Iran has continued to be able to threaten. That's why the president's gone after their Navy to try to stop them from attacking all these vessels. About 20% of the world's oil goes right past a very skinny section in Iran. So it is an issue that we've got to pay attention to, and the president is paying attention to that.
Senator James Lankford, anything else you want Oklahomans to know this Monday morning?
No, I'd say don't trust everything you see on social media. There's a lot of garbage and things that are not true that's out there, but keep praying for the nation, keep getting good, accurate information.
All right, Senator James Lankford joining us this morning. We, of course, will be continuing to watch. Also, the State Department is expected to be coming down with a press conference in the early morning hours this morning. We'll be carrying that.
7 o'clock our time. Senator, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll be right back. You're watching News 9 this morning.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're heading from, let's see, Guthrie or North Edmond on I-35 past Waterloo, this is what's greeting you this morning. a big backup. We had a wreck there earlier this morning, right kind of at Coffee Creek, but this is still the traffic that's backed up there on I-35 southbound this morning.
Yeah, hearing about another one that was close, that ended up being nothing. So the traffic is the big problem. We saw rows of headlights all the way back almost past Waterloo. So slow going southbound.
Hate to see that on a Monday morning.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
not a things off. All right, let's shift gears and talk weather this morning. You know what else was crazy? Starting March off with a hailstorm in Cushing yesterday.
Right. So we had a thunderstorm that went up right kind of on top of Cushing, and it produced quite a bit of hail.
Yeah.
It wasn't big hail, but let me show you some of the videos and pictures. Northeastern Oklahoma had showers and thunderstorms around through most of the day. And here's this video from Cushing. This is actually from Jeremy Carter's great nephew. And if you were just looking at this and you didn't know it was hail, snow or sleet, right? So again, it wasn't large hail. It probably didn't do much in the way of damage, but that's a whole lot there on the ground. Temperatures are pretty warm though, so it melted pretty quickly. And then as thunderstorms continued off into northeastern Oklahoma, more hail. This is in Skiatook, and there from Commanda, I think on her kind of front porch, and that's a couple inches deep there. So a whole lot of hail, and it's very possible this time of year and just to take you back here with the radar loop to show you those thunderstorms, but this time of year with the temperature profile of the atmosphere to get some hail, and a lot of times a lot of it. So as we go through the next several days, we are tracking the chance for severe weather, and I mentioned this several times, but if you're just now joining us this morning, each and every day there is a severe risk in one part of the state or another, and every single day the setup is different. The storms are caused by something different, and so it's really important that you're dialed in, and thankfully there is no major extreme risk. Friday is the day that we're watching for a setup that could bring more of a tornado threat into the picture, but we've got to get through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday storms before we even get to Friday. The silver lining here is that we will pick up significant rainfall, especially east of I-35, western Oklahoma. You're drier, but again, any moisture with the ongoing drought is really good news. For your Monday, no storms. You'll notice the cloud cover. It does look stormy out there, but it's a dry day today. Tomorrow afternoon, the threat cranks up with thunderstorms developing in southwestern Oklahoma and into the metro during the afternoon, with more storms during the overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday. By Wednesday afternoon, the threat is across southeastern Oklahoma, where the cold front has stalled out. And then Thursday, additional threats from western Oklahoma back into Oklahoma City. And depending upon what happens with that round, that may or may not impact Friday's round. So we'll see if the atmosphere can recover. But again, Friday's really the day to watch. And then again, southeastern Oklahoma for your Saturday. And we have more storms lined up beyond the 9-day into the second week of March. There's your cold front from yesterday. It is down in far southeastern Oklahoma. Have been watching for a few showers this morning, but we have not seen anything develop, so you're totally dry as you're headed out the door. Let me go ahead and start by showing you future next gen. So this is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thunderstorms developing down in the southwest and lifting off to the north and to the east. Could have some gusty, damaging winds, some hail, heavy rain, and lightning, and those move off to the north and east from there and will weaken. By about 8 to 9 o'clock, we'll watch for additional storms to develop, and most of the data is pretty consistent on where these fire back into southwestern and western, northwestern Oklahoma, and those move off to the north and east as well. Same deal, hail up to the size of golf balls, very heavy rain that'll actually be behind the cold front, which typically limits your threat, but it's still possible that you get some strong to severe storms behind a cold front. By Wednesday morning into the afternoon, the rain, the thunderstorm activity shifts down to the south and east where the cold front is, with the chance for a few remaining showers and maybe isolated thunder. So severe threats will be down to the south and east by Wednesday afternoon, and then another round for late Thursday into the overnight Friday morning before our main wave comes in Friday afternoon and evening. So again, so many rounds, round after round. You'll just have to stay dialed in because things will change as the week unfolds. There's the live look from our Chickasha cam, 6:55. The sun is coming up here in just a few minutes, but you probably won't see it because of that thick cloud cover. Temperatures are below freezing to the north of this pink freezing line, 36 in Lawton and 40 in Altus with a north breeze, 10 to 15 miles per hour and a few gusts to 20. Wind chill values in the 20s and 30s, and this afternoon is significantly cooler than yesterday. Upper 40s and low 50s, warmer down to the south. And then tomorrow, the cold front moves into northern Oklahoma. That will trigger showers and thunderstorms from southwestern Oklahoma up to the metro. And again, that is our first chance for severe weather of the week. We'll watch for half-dollar size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, western Oklahoma and across the north. And same deal, even behind that front, we may have strong to severe storms. The threat shifts down to the south and east on Wednesday afternoon and evening, and we will watch Friday specifically for that higher end threat, guys. Temperature ups and downs and waves of rain and storms. Back over to you.
And thanks. I want to take you back to this breaking news on I-35. These are the southbound lanes right there at Coffee Creek Road, a crash up in Edmond. Right there on the left side of your screen, you see those emergency lights. That's where a car is turned around the wrong way in the median. It involved a semi, which we believe is right there at the top of your screen on the shoulder, but look at the aftermath. Long standstill, slow going from Guthrie and North Edmond. We're back right after this. CBS Mornings.